Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Stella-Jaz, and today we're going to be talking about the cold before the freeze, or in other words, apathy. The state of emotionlessness that comes before a state of depression or excess of negative emotion combined with feelings of emptiness and loneliness. So first you need to be able to identify the feeling of apathy. So imagine a time, usually after a huge, stressful, or traumatic event that uses a lot of energy emotionally, leaving no energy left to feel the other emotions, like you're exhausted emotionally pretty much. Something that would usually cause a huge emotional response, it doesn't anymore. Maybe it's your friends inviting you out for pizza or something, or, whatever it is, something that should usually make you laugh or make you cry, it does not anymore affect you. Okay, and most people, as they go into their adulthood, they notice they have lots of energy and emotion when they're younger, and then slowly it gets less and less and less and less as they get older, and at some point, people kind of seem like they're dead after a certain point if you keep going along that same track. Now, apathy has a lot more consequences than just making you yourself kind of sort of like just dead. It also will make the relationships that you have with other people worse. Now, why is that bad? Okay, so since humans, again, are an interdependent species, our relationships with people directly affect, or, a lot of the time, in the normal scenario, directly affect how well we are surviving, right? Because that's our well-being. So if you don't have humans, if you don't have friends or allies, that's really bad for your mental health. If you're alone all the time or isolated socially, that's really bad for your mental health, and that's exactly what apathy does. It makes your relationships with everybody worse, eventually leading to depression. Now, what exactly causes apathy? Apathy is caused by a lot of things, but usually it's caused by emotional overexpansion. You're overexpending your emotions in every sense of the word. Okay, yeah, can't talk. Sorry. Think about social media for a second. You can scroll, you're gonna have something that's gonna make you laugh. The next video, you scroll down, and it's a dog almost getting hit by a train, and someone runs onto the track to save the dog. Okay, so it's suspense. You scroll to the next video, and it's some like heartbreakingly sad story. You keep scrolling, and eventually, for the sake of your well-being, to protect your emotional state, homeostasis, to protect your stability, you're gonna not feel that anymore as you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Okay, so one thing you could do would be to clean up your social media feed, or just consume less or no social media, or just consume social media that does not tend to overexpend your emotions. Now, it can actually be beneficial, okay, to become apathetic towards certain emotions. So like, say you play a video game that constantly it jump scares you, okay? Now, what a jump scare is when something, surprises you, and it makes you have a jerk reaction in your muscles, okay? Is the jerk reaction actually good for defense? Probably not. So maybe playing a video game that works on that, jump scare response would get you better at reacting in a logical sort of way, which would probably be something like that, where you jump to, be ready to defend yourself or run away, but at least you'll be able to see the enemy instead of just like, jumping up in the air like some sort of fairy. Fairy was not said in the sense of insulting gay people, but generally becoming apathetic toward any emotions is not a very good thing unless you have a specific goal in mind toward weakening that certain specified emotional response. So to avoid apathy, you have to be able to figure out what circumstances or what combination of circumstances have led to you becoming apathetic in the past. Because it's happened to everybody. Everybody at one point in their life, at least in this generation, has become apathetic toward all of their outside circumstances to where they didn't really feel anything. It's just sort of empty. And there's no specific way that I could identify the triggers that would lead to apathy in a specific person other than the general one, like social media or something that exerts a lot of a specific emotion like a video game. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on what you want to do with your emotions, how you want to modify them, because they're your emotions. So that's a very personalized process of identifying what has led to you being apathetic in the past. That's not at all a generalizable thing. So what do you do when you cannot avoid something that triggers you to become apathetic or triggers a weaker emotional response later in the day, like you've used up emotional fuel. Well, what you should do is reset, and the way that you can neurally reset is by sleeping. So when you do an activity like it's schoolwork, maybe that makes you apathetic, or it's, you know, your job, maybe that makes you apathetic. Take a nap directly after that, and like after your nap, take a shower, eat, clip your fingernails, whatever, and kind of renew your mental state and your physical state, because your physical state mirrors your mental state. And that will kind of help you re-enter the day with a whole new stack of emotional fuel to help you avoid becoming apathetic and avoid becoming depressed and avoid getting a heavy heart. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, share. Hit the bell notification icon if you did. Goodbye.